So let's talk about how we went from 0 to 1,000 subscribers, shall we? Hey folks, AJaytheCEO here, and normally I talk about media ministry and growing the media ministry and all that other fun stuff, but what I want to do is I've had a bunch of subscribers ask me this, so this is what I'm deciding to do, is to pretty much talk about my journey here on YouTube and pretty much 0 to 1,000. Well, let's see. When did I get started with YouTube? Can you say 2006? Pretty much I signed up on April 19th, 2006. That was 4 years after college, and just started hearing about it, started watching a couple of videos here and there, and thought it was kind of cool. Now, my very first video that I ever did on YouTube was actually 7 years ago. It was pretty much me just doing a music tutorial on how to play a song that I was getting ready to teach for choir rehearsal, which I did not know anything about YouTube, and I got hit with a copyright strike because I didn't understand the concept of, oh, you can't post this type of music and this and this. But that's where I started. Really didn't think of it. I really just did this just because some people were asking about how to play a certain song, and even in the video I said I do it because I want to get ready for choir rehearsal, and that was April 4th, 2012. So that's literally almost 6 years later after I signed up. And then I think the next video I had was just a camera test at my church with the G20s when we were installing those. And then I started doing a whole bunch of different stuff. I was like, okay, some other people at my church were asking me about teaching piano lessons, and I really didn't get a chance to do it, but I just started posting little videos of how I actually learned how to play or how to play certain songs. And then I learned not to include the music, but then sometimes I did. And honestly, I really didn't care because I didn't have no type of vision that this was going to be a long-term type of thing. And then when I started to see that it was big, I tried to do a vlog from a minister of music type of thing. That lasted maybe about 2 videos. Then I started to get into I really started doing the modern media ministry type of stuff where I'm trying to find my niche around May 7th of 2018. And this is where I'm just talking about mindset of your media ministry. And honestly, I just kept trying to find what my niche was. I loved building computers, but I was following a whole bunch of people by then who are already in the millions, so I didn't even have enough confidence and belief in myself to even try and do something like that. But one of my favorite books is Russell Conwell's Acres of Diamonds, where it just talks about a lot of times we spend all our time looking for other areas to try and find the grass is green on a different side, or try to find what's best for you. But ultimately what I ended up realizing is, and what the book talks about, is normally your greatest asset in the place where you can grow is right where you're standing. And pretty much, okay, yeah, I was doing computer stuff, but there wasn't that much computer stuff in the church field, and it wasn't that much in church in general. You heard a lot of people talk around it, which again, they do great stuff, but I ended up concentrating on what was happening at my church from a media ministry standpoint, because I was doing all types of research to try and get our stuff done, but couldn't find anywhere to get one location to get all the information that I needed. So I was bouncing back and forth. So I just started, hey, let me just start documenting how I'm doing what I'm doing, because the last media ministry video that I saw hadn't been posted in 7 years. So that was almost close to my very first video. So I just kept going from there, and I started talking about mindset, and then we started doing editing. So I was just like, hey, why don't I try to live video, and I'll just do this live stream thing and let people see what I'm doing. And then came across Worship Extreme while we were testing out stuff in my church. Did a video for that. Well, looked up a video for it, and it was by the company who made it, and really didn't have a lot of videos out there. So I just decided to redo it in a simplified way, and then that video kind of took off. And at this point in time, just being honest, so as of right now, it's November 8th, 2019. So I did these videos last year and really started getting serious about doing YouTube videos and stuff like that maybe around June of last year. And pretty much from June all the way through December of last year, I would probably say I had a total of maybe 17 subscribers. So I was disheartened to say the least. I was kind of like, okay, what am I not doing? All this other stuff. So honestly, by the end of the year, I probably had about 20 subscribers at the end of last year. And then, I don't know, I just got to a point where I'm like, this is what I like to do. This is what I'm doing at church. Sooner or later, somebody's going to be interested in the stuff I'm doing, because I know there's a lot more people out there like me. So what I did is I stopped looking at the numbers, and I just focused on making content to help my church and any other church that might be similar in my situation, or people who wanted to build computers, or I focused on my niche and my audience, which mainly was church and then business. And then I had already had a business at the time where I was installing this stuff for churches that hired me, and I just focused on that. I just documented what I was doing and showed how you can install this stuff. It doesn't cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I installed at my sister and brother-in-law's church, where they were quoted to do a system there for maybe $90,000, and I did it for around like $10,000. Learned a lot from pricing when it comes to business and things like that, and I just kept going. But the main thing is I just focused on what my skill set was. I was thinking about motivation and all this other stuff, which I like to encourage people, but that wasn't my strength to do. So I just focused on the stuff I did, which was teaching. I've been teaching music and choirs and all this other stuff, and I was been tech support, every level of tech support there possibly was, from level 1 all the way to level 4 and implementations and all this other stuff. So I'm like, hey, I'm already teaching, I'm already installing, let me just focus on that. And I just niched down on that and just kept doing that. And then maybe around January of this year, it took me maybe about, when I really got serious, from September to around February of this year, I hit 100 subscribers around then. All I know is I felt on top of the world, because I was like, oh my gosh, 100 people, oh my gosh. And it was not family, it was people that I did not know. So I was like, okay, yeah, it's out there. So that was kind of a boost of encouragement. Then I just kept going, and then I just started doing other stuff, and then started building a little community. Started really watching a bunch of other people. Like one of the people that helped so much his videos was Sean Cannell. Great guy, loved the stuff that he was teaching. Actually bought one of his courses, and that transformed a lot of the stuff and understanding of how this whole YouTube thing worked. And then just really started studying other people, understanding, finding content, researching content, but I still just focused on what I was doing, which was every aspect of media ministry. And then I think in the same amount of time it took me to go to 100 subscribers, I got to around 500 in that same amount of time. It just took off, and I was so excited about everything. And then I set a goal of 1,000, and honestly, it seemed so far away. But all I did was just kept looking down and was like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And I just concentrated on my content, the type of way to help. So I wasn't really looking at the numbers of like, man, I gotta hit this amount. It was a good goal. I set it, and then I put it behind me, and I just went to work. Now, I wasn't talking about working like a madman. Plus also around December of last year is when I lost my job. So I was doing as many videos as possible, and then doing all the odds and ends around as possible to raise money and stuff like that, which was really hard. But I did not let the external situations railroad this, because I saw that it's possible that this could work. I seen it work for everybody else. And then, if you believe like I believe, God's no respecter of persons. So if he could do that for other folks, he can definitely do it for me. So I just decided to do the work just like everybody else was. So I just kept concentrating on it. And then it started opening up to people contacting me, asking for questions, gave me some ideas for content. And then next thing I know, I look up, I'm at 700 subscribers, and I'm like, okay, it went from taking 4 months, 5 months to get to 100 to where I was hitting an additional 100 subscribers in a month. Okay. Then it got to in 2 weeks. And then I think on October 12th, I was at 850 subscribers. And then, by the 20th, October 20th, I was at 900. And then from October, and then in 5 days, I went to 950, and that's 825. And then on October 31st of this year, that's when I hit 1,000. And it was, honestly, I didn't do anything different. I just had stayed consistent in what I was doing. I found what my strength was, and I focused on that. I researched other people to not be competitive. I just researched them to see what are they doing so I can tweak what I'm doing. I didn't go and try and copy people's content. I just focused on what I know from my niche, which was media ministry in churches and technology in churches. I focused on that. And then I did end up hearing back from a couple of weeks ago from the church media guys. I was already a part of their Facebook group and was communicating and talking and sharing with the community and stuff like that, to where they had reached out and asked me to co-host one of their shows. And I was like, wait a minute, this is AJ, who was struggling to get 100 subscribers. Now I have people sending me messages all day long to help with media ministries, have people contact me, asking me to fly me out to certain areas. And I'm thankful for the only word I can say is thankful. And just for those who are your budding YouTubers, all I'm saying is find what your niche is, and normally your niche is something that you already are passionate about. Focus on that, and then I don't believe in competition. I believe in just giving quality. I'm not trying to one up or outdo anybody. I just want to stay good and be a better me today than I was yesterday. And that also comes from the content I'm delivering, being better at video editing, communication skills, all that stuff. I just work to perfect and be a better me, and that translates into the videos and the stuff that I do here. So not traditionally, I guess it's not traditionally what you would hear about how to go from 0 to 1,000. All I know is if you set the goal, you will get it, but don't concentrate on the numbers. Concentrate on you being a better you being better at your content, you being more of a master of what your niche is, whatever it is. Don't worry about the competition. Don't worry about that at all. Just concentrate on being a better you, delivering better content, and just stay consistent. I think especially during the Vlogmas challenge, that pushed me to do a vlog every single day, which is what I originally started. But again, I vlogged every day about what my niche was, which was media ministry and technology. I sometimes added fun with my daughter and family and stuff like that, but that was my thing. And I just kept at it. And especially when I lost my job, I just doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down on what I was doing, to where I set a goal to always do at least 1 video a week. Then I pushed it to 2 a week. Then I pushed it to 3 a week. And then I pushed it to 1 a day. And then when I was doing that, sometimes I was doing maybe 10 in a week. And I just really pushed. Now, not gonna lie, there was many times I didn't go to sleep until like 3 o'clock in the morning, but again, I didn't have a job, so I was just focused on what I was doing. But anyway, I think I ran my mouth a little bit too much there, but anyway, just an encouragement for y'all who are those budding YouTubers out there. Just find out what your niche is. Don't worry about being competitive with everybody and trying to one up everybody. Just focus on being a better you today than you were yesterday, and it will come. You just got to keep going. So anyway, this is a little bit different, and this is AJ. I hope you like this type of content. If you do, I appreciate a like. Consider subscribing and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos. And also drop a message in the comment. I love to hear. I don't do this share for share stuff, but really appreciate if you want some help or anything with your channel, whether it be your church channel or your personal channel. I will help as much as I can. Leave it in the comments or hit me up. I think I'm close to getting my website fixed. Again, the whole website got knocked out, so I'm rebuilding it. But anyway, this is AJ, and I will see y'all in the next video later.